Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to a very exciting interview that we have here for you today during the last day of E6 2022. I am Blake Morse, co-editor-in-chief at Shacknews.com. To my side here is the one and only Asif Khan, Shacknews luminary. And we are very pleased today to be joined by the one and only Suda51. Suda, hello. How are you doing?
Oh, hi. Hi, konnichiwa.
Thank you for being here today with us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, we have a lot of questions for you today, all very serious, all very, very, very just
hard-hitting
journalism questions for you. Are you prepared?
今日は多くの質問を用意させていただいてるんですけど、どれももうめちゃくちゃ真面目で真剣なご質問なので、ご準備はできてますでしょうか？
大丈夫ですよ。
Yeah, he's cool.
All right. If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
もし今後一生、一つの食べ物しか食べられないとしたら何にしますか？
朝からね、真面目な質問だね。うん。あ、でも訳しといて。ちょっと待って。
Yeah, it's thanks for the really super serious question first thing in the morning.
Absolutely. バランスを考えると、バナ
ナ。Thinking about nutritional balance and stuff, probably bananas.
It's a good answer. Good answer. You get your potassium. Yeah. Your potassium, get some sugar.
糖分もいろんなビタミンも取れますし、もういい。
そうそう、栄養豊富なんで、そう。Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Gotta get those nutrients.
Excellent. Well, here at Shacknews, we do a segment called Sauce Talk, and we were wondering if you had a favorite sauce that you like to put on your food.
シャックニュースではソーストークっていうコーナーをたまにやってますが、食べ物にかけるソースで一番好きなものは何でしょうか？
おー、また真剣な質問が来ましたね。
It's another super serious question.
Yes. Back to back. 最近僕がハマってるのはやっぱりね、たらこソースですね。たらこソースは美味しい。やばいですよ。
たらこソース。
たらこ、あとたらマヨ。たらマヨはやばいです。たらことマヨネーズをミックスした。多分これね、ポテトつけて食べたらね、やばいよ。もうすごい大量のポテト食べるんです。
Recently he's been really into tarako sauce. I'm not actually sure how to say that in English. Let me see if I can figure this out. But he's been really into tarako sauce and tarako and mayonnaise mixed together. He says you slap some of that stuff on some fries and it's just amazing. Cod roe. So it's basically cod roe sauce and cod roe and mayonnaise sauce. It's not as weird as it sounds. It's pretty big here in Japan.
Oh, no. Yeah, we totally have
多分
that.
日本じゃないとないかもしれない。もしくは自宅で作ってみると最高なんで、ちょっと家で作ってみてください。多分日本はお店とかに結構あるんで、食べれるんだけども。
It's a pretty normal thing here in Japan, but outside Japan it might be pretty hard to find. So by all means, go ahead and try and make it at home. I guess slap together some mayonnaise and fish eggs or something. But,
I'm in the Bay Area. We have Asian grocer just down the street, so I can get both. I can get the Japanese mayonnaise and the fish eggs there. I would definitely give that a try the next time I order French fries, because I'll put mayonnaise on French fries. It's very European of me.
サンフランシスコ周辺に住んでるんで、そのアジア系のスーパーとかあるんで、日本のマヨネーズもそのタラカもどっちも結構簡単に入るんで、今度作ってみる。自分はポテトにマヨネーズを結構かけたりするタイプなんで、ちょっとヨーロッパ人っぽいんですけど、そういうのが大好きなんでぜひやってみますね。
でしかもたらこはできるんだったら明太子の方でお願いします。 売ってるかどうかわかんないですけど。
For the Cadro part, if possible, he says you should go with Mentaiko, which is the best kind of Cadro apparently.
Got only the best. I would only put the best Cadro in my mayonnaise personally.
いややっぱり、そのたらこマヨを作るんだったらもう最高級のたらこしか使わないんで分かりました。
あ、明太子ジェームスしてるよね。説明してもらう。ちょっと辛いやつ。明太子って。
Just to make sure that you guys know what he's talking about. So mentaiko, it's the sort of spicy version of Cadro, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. あ、分かってます。分かってるっぽいです。はい。
あ、さすがさす
が。Let's see. So
maybe we could pivot to something about video games.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I'm curious if you could make a movie based on any of your games. Which one would you choose, and who would star in it, and who would direct it?
須田さんの、今までのタイトルの一つを映画化できるとしたら、どのゲームにしますか？そして主人公は、誰が演じますか？そして監督は誰が務めますか？
まあでもやっぱり一番これまでで映画化の話いただいてるのはやっぱノーマーヒーローズなんですよね。いろんなところから映画化だったりとかアニメ化の話をいただいてるので、ファンのみんなもやっぱりノーマーヒーローズが一番ね、ゲームとは違う形で見たい、作品だと思うので、まずノーマーヒーローズです。ちょっと主演考えますね。誰だろうな。でも一回訳してもらっていいですか？
はい。Well, basically considering both what he personally would want to make, as well as what the fans would probably most want to see. And on top of that, the number of times he's had people approach him about it up till now, he'd probably have to go with No More Heroes. He feels, probably both making it and both in regards to what the fans want to see. No More Heroes in a non-game sort of medium would probably be something really interesting. As far as who he would have star in it and direct it, he says just give him a minute so we can think about that.
Yeah, okay. And then we could maybe pitch some. Would like Johnny Knoxville be a good Travis next job?
そうそう、もちろん。ただジョニーもちょっと年取っちゃったので、この間もジャッカスの 4.0 で多分燃え尽きちゃったと思うんだよね。なので、個人的に好きなライアン・ゴズリング主演で、監督はジェームズ・ガンで、それでは多分最高なんじゃないのかなと思います。
As Johnny Knoxville, like of course he'd be a great choice, but he's gotten a bit old recently.
Yeah.
And says he saw Jackass 4.0 and was like, yeah, I think I think maybe he's a bit over the hill now. So
yeah.
Personally, he'd probably go with Ryan Gosling, and as director, he'd go with James Gunn. He thinks that
James
would be
Gunn's very good director.
James Gunn, definitely a good choice. And you've worked with him previously on Lollipop Chainsaw as well.
もちろんロリポップチェーンソーで一緒に、仕事しましたし、ジェームズ・ガンって最高のチョイスだなって。
もしくは日本で撮るっていうもう逆転の発想で言ったら、三池監督に高橋三池さんに撮ってほしいですね。
Conversely, if he was going to go with a Japanese director, then he'd want to go with Takashi Miike.
We're also curious, what games have you been playing recently, and what do you like about them?
最近はどんなゲームを遊んでますか？そしてそのゲームが好きな理由は何でしょうか？複数でも大丈夫です。
最近全然ゲーム遊べてないですね。PS5 もうやっと手に入ったんですけど、まだね自宅にセッティングできてないという状態で、テレビの買い替えをちょっとね考えているので、テレビを買い替えたら PS5 入れたいなと思ってて。なのでなかなか今稼働してないですね。今一番やってるのはカービィかな。この間のカービィ。どうしてもスイッチ中心になってます今。ゲームプレイするのは。はい。
Recently, he hasn't actually really been able to play many games at all. Just been super busy and everything. He actually was finally able to score a PS5. But it's just been kind of sitting there at home, and he hasn't been able to actually set it up yet. He's been considering recently buying a new TV. So he's thinking, okay, well, once I finally get that sorted and get my new TV, then I'm finally gonna, put my foot down and hook up that PS5. But the few games he has been able to play recently, they've been pretty much all Switch centric, I guess. So probably the game he's played most somewhat recently would be Kirby Discovery.
Wow. What does he think of the mouthful mode in Kirby where you eat the car and become the car?
カービィでマウスフルモードって言ってこう例えば車を食べて車に変化するみたいな、そのモードはどう思いますかっていうことです。
いやもう最高。カービィもねより何でも食べるので最高に面白いですね。階段今回食べるし階段も食べたりとか。
He thinks it's awesome. Just the way how Kirby just kind of scarfs up everything has always been really great. And he likes how you can eat like stairs and turn into stairs and stuff too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. A lot of puzzle mechanics are informed by that design.
そういうゲームデザインによっていろんなパズルができちゃうんですごく面白いなと思いますみたいな。
そうそう、ゲームデザインがやっぱ素晴らしいですよね。そうカービィの特性を生かして、なんか単なる子供のねためのゲームと思いきやもう全然骨太なゲームで、やっぱりびっくりしてますね。任天堂のゲームはやっぱりすごいなと思って。
But yeah, it's really amazing game design how they incorporate all these different characteristics of Kirby into like the puzzles and the gameplay itself. And it's the kind of game where you look at it and it kind of looks like it'd be a little kid's game, but you actually start playing it and it turns out it's not like that at all, you know? And yeah, just once again, he thought, wow, Nintendo's really awesome at making games the way they did this.
It's a very polished game, and I know that Suda pays attention to music a lot. Curious what he thinks of the music in the Kirby game.
確かにすごく磨いた感じなゲームなんですよね。で、須田さんは確かに音楽好きかと思うんですけど、カービィのゲーム内の音楽についてはどう思いますかっていうことです。
あんまり意識してないから、いつも横でテレビつけながら、家族がテレビ見ながら、こっちでちっちゃいモニターでテレビやってるので、実はあんまり音を大きくしてないんですよね。
He hasn't really noticed the music yet because usually when he plays the Switch, he's got his family over here watching TV on like the big TV, and then he's playing games like right over here next to him on a smaller monitor, and so he's usually got the sound down pretty low. So he hasn't really had the chance to pick up on the music and stuff yet.
That makes sense.
いや適当なこと言うと多分すごいと思う。素晴らしいと思います。
Just to toss out a random comment for you, it's probably awesome, probably really great music. Yeah.
That's Bot's quote.
There you go. But that actually leads me to my next question. What music have you been listening to lately?
その次の質問にもちょっとつながってくるんですけど、最近はどんな音楽を聞かれてますか？
最近は一番聴いてるのは日本のバンドでサカナクションというバンドが僕大好きなんですけども、彼らの新しい新作のアルバムが出たんですよね。そのアダプトっていうアルバムをずっと聴いてますね。もう運転するときは必ずアダプト聴いてます、サカナクション。
Recently he's definitely been listening to this Japanese band called Shacknews the most. They put out an album relatively recently called Adapt. And he's been listening to that all over the place. Like when he's driving around somewhere, he's always got that playing. He said it's really great. He's been listening to that pretty much nonstop.
Yeah, I saw him tweet about it, and I actually went and watched the video. They had this really cool video. The lead singer was like on a treadmill, and they had the projector behind him. I thought they had a very cool music video for that album.
確かに津田さんがこの前ツイートそのサカナクションに関するツイートをして、それを見て。プロモーションビデオを見てみたんですけど、すごい面白いねと思って、そのボーカルが、なんかウォーキングマシン的なやつに歩いてて、で後ろにプロジェクターみたいなのがあって、すごいなんか面白い構造だなと思いました。
そう、彼らは必ずミュージックビデオすごい凝ってるんですよ。毎回風変わりなものを映像を作るので、ぜひね昔の曲も見てください、チェックしてください。
But yeah, they're really cool with the music videos they make. Like they've got some really strong opinions, I guess you could say, and taste as to like how they make their music videos. So yeah, if you like that one, by all means, go check out some of their older stuff too, because all the not just the music but the videos are really awesome as well.
Awesome. I'm curious. When it's time for you to sing, what is your go-to karaoke song?
須田さんの、カラオケでの18番は何でしょうか？
最近行ってないな。なんだっけ。やっぱりあれですよ。
毎回歌わされるやつですよね、多分。
ボンジョビのやっぱりリビオンプレイヤー。ボンジョビ。絶対ボンジョビです。
Yeah, Bon Jovi Living on a Prayer.
That is a karaoke classic.
いやいやいや。
カラオケの定番ですね。
そう。
Halfway there. Oh,
Oh, great.
We'll sing the whole song if
I
you
will
have
sing
to.
the whole song.
よかったらもう最後まで歌いますよって。
いやいや、一緒に歌いましょう。
Yeah, let's sing
Johnny
together
used
next
to work
time.
on the docks.
Yeah, I get made to sing that every single damn time.
That's
Nice.
still fun though.
That's a good choice. Very good choice. Solid karaoke choice.
So I know we can't really talk about your next game that you're working on or anything, but I'm curious, your games tend to be a love letter to Unreal Engine. You really like Unreal Engine. Have you had a chance to mess around with Unreal Engine 5 yet? And what do you think of it?
須田さんの、その次の新作については、あんまり話せないだろうなと思うんですけど、須田さんのゲームっていうのはアンリアルエンジンへのラブレターっていうふうに感じ取れる部分もあるかと思うんですよね。で、簡単に聞いてみますと、アンリアルエンジンの5はもう触りましたか？ちょっといろいろいじってみて
そうですね。もちろん、これは隠さなくてもいいと思うんですけども、はい。僕らはアンリアルを愛してますし、エピックゲームスが大好きですし、フォートナイトはあんまり僕は遊ばないんですけど、難しくて。でもアンリアルエンジン5で開発はしてますね。なので、新しい技術、に関しては今本当に現場の方でみんながどんどん新しい技術を導入して吸収している最中ですね。
Yeah, this is something that he doesn't feel there's any need to hide or anything, but yeah, he and the company they all love Unreal Engine. Personally, he loves Unreal Engine. He loves Epic Games. He doesn't really play Fortnite because it's too hard, but he does love what they do. And yeah, they've been using Unreal Engine 5 for their upcoming game. And as you said, he can't really talk about it, but yeah, so far it's been going really great. And yeah, he really likes how it's been working out.
That's awesome to hear. And a game that you can't talk about, I'm just kind of curious, was it bittersweet to say goodbye to the No More Heroes series? Do you feel like you did everything you wanted to in that universe?
ノーマンヒーローズシリーズに別れをつけるのってやっぱり、ちょっと寂しかったでしょうか？それとも須田さんの中ではもうこのシリーズでもやりたいこともやり尽くしててこれで満足っていう感じでしょうか？
そうですね。やっぱ寂しい気持ちはあるんですけれども、結構今回はそのスイッチというプラットフォームで、スイッチの発表、任天堂さんの発表からだいたい丸5年間ぐらいですかね。トラビス・セレクサーゲーンからノーマンヒーローズ3という流れで、本当にトラビスと長い時間を一緒に過ごせたので、寂しい気持ちもあるんですけども、一つやりきった、トラビスの物語を描き切ったという、一つの達成感はありますね。なので、両方の思いがあります。寂しさももちろんありますし、だけどなんか、トラビスはまたいつか会えるんじゃないかなっていう感覚というか、そういう、また出会えるような思いもちょっと残ってたりとかするんですけども、でもいい旅立ちになるんじゃないかなと思って、はい、一つそうですね、ノーマンヒーローズシリーズに幕を閉じることができたなと思いますね。
Says, yeah, it was pretty bittersweet and a bit kind of sad and lonely having to say goodbye to Travis in particular and just the series in general, but he says he feels like he's got a bit of both, I guess. Yeah, again, it was a bit sad and a bit bittersweet having to say goodbye to the series, but at the same time, he feels that yeah, as you said, he did what he wanted to do. He feels that as a conclusion to the series, at least for the time being, he's pretty satisfied with how it turned out. he's also he's always had this feeling kind of deep down inside that one day he's going to be able to see Travis again somehow. One day Travis is going to come out in one form or another. And so it's not like, an eternal goodbye where, we're never ever going to see him again, definitely, or anything. But yeah, it's been about 5 years since Travis Strikes Again was announced. And then, there was Travis Strikes Again, it was announced, it came out, and then No More Heroes 3. And it's been there's been a lot going on over the past 5 years, but yeah, in the end, he feels it was all worth it. And yeah, he's kind of looking forward to seeing how the series turns out in the end. Shit, sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. No worries. It's okay.
Adorable little
sorry
baby.
about that. That's that.
Was that the tiny mountain?
Yeah, that was Axel Mountain.
So you previously mentioned wanting to work with Marvel characters like Deadpool, Shatterstar, and Quicksilver. But what is it about those characters that strikes you as a fit for Grasshopper?
以前に、確かにデッドプールとかシャッタースターとかクイックシルバーなどのマーベルキャラクターと何かやってみたいな的なコメントをされてたと思うんですけど、これらのキャラクターの、そのどういったところがグラスホッパーに合うかと思いますか？
そうですね、マーベルの中でもちょっと異端のキャラクターというか、はい、2人とも剣術使いますし、シャッタースターはちょっとまたね、シャッタースターじゃないや、クイックシルバーはまた全然別で、X メンシリーズの、クイックシルバーが僕大好きな役者さんが大好きで、なんだっけな、ワンダービジョンにも登場したりとか、キャラクターの個性みたいなものってなんかすごく面白いなと思って、なんかそこだけ切り取ってもすごい面白い作品になるんじゃないかなっていうふうに思って、そういうマーベルの中でもちょっとメイン級じゃないんだけど、デッドプールは多分メイン級なんだと思うんですけども、まだまだこのね、ビデオゲーム化そんなにされてないキャラクターをグラスホッパーが作ったら面白いんじゃないかなっていうので、それらのキャラクターを選びましたね。
Those three characters in particular, Deadpool, Shatterstar, Quicksilver, he feels that they're kind of one reason that they'd fit with some Grasshopper games and the Grasshopper style is among all the various characters in the Marvel universe, those characters are kind of, I guess you could say not problematic as in they cause problems, but I mean problematic as in they're kind of broken inside in different ways. You know what I mean? There's kind of something wrong with them, Yeah. And he feels kind of a connection with that sort of character for one thing. And Quicksilver in particular, when he showed up like in WandaVision and in some of the more recent movies and stuff, he says he really likes the actor and he also likes the character itself, like how he's been put together and just the kind of vision they've gone with for that character so far. And he says, apart from Deadpool, who now is a bit more mainstream than he used to be, the other characters, they're not exactly like completely unknown, but they're also not really like top tier, MCU characters in either. So for one thing, again, he says the way the characters are put together and the sort of internal struggles and stuff they have, that part of it is kind of appealing to him as well. And also, just the fact that I guess you could kind of say they're sort of underdogs, they don't really get as much fanfare and attention as some of the bigger characters do, and they haven't had like their own video games or anything yet, so he'd like to try and make a game with one of those characters to see what he could do with it, try and put that character into their own game and see how that goes.
I'd personally love to see a Shatterstar and Mojo World sort of series.
可能であればシャッタースターとモージョーワールドのシリーズを見てみたいな。絶対面白い。
もちろんそうなんです。ちなみにシャッタースターって人気あります？アメリカで今。
By the way, is Shatterstar pretty popular in the States or not very much? Or?
No, not really. No, the only thing I remember him from is a run on X Factor a few years back. It wasn't like a major character in it or anything like that.
いやあんまりそこまでではないみたいですね。唯一シャッタースターで覚えてるのは、記憶に残ってるのは、数年前にX ファクターにちょっと出てたぐらいですけど、その時も別にそのメジャーなキャラクターでもなかったし、そんなに人気はないっぽいですね。
Deadpool, very popular.
Yeah, Deadpool is very popular.
まあ当然、まあすごい人気ありますもんね。
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see. So it's been a big year. Last year, Netease acquired Grasshopper, and we're curious what opportunities have opened up for you as a result.
まあこの1年間、グラスホッパーにとっていろいろあった1年間だったと思うんですけど、
はい
まずは、Netease グループ入りになったんですよね。で、まあ、Netease の子会社になったことによって、その結果、どんな新しい、機会とか、チャンスとか、なんか生じましたでしょうか、それで。
まあ、僕らにとっては、まずはオリジナル IP を、まあ、自分たちの自社の力で、ネットニュースのバックアップで作るということができるので、まあ、そういった意味で言うと、本当の意味でのクリエイティブフリーダム、自由な環境でゲーム作りができているというのを実感してますね。で、彼らはやはりコンシューマーゲームに対して、まあ、特にネットニュースってもちろん日本のゲーム業界のリスペクトもすごく持ってくれていて、で特にコンシューマーゲームに関して言うと、やっぱり日本がすごく得意であり、グラスホッパーやはりずっとコンシューマーゲームを作ってきたので、そういった意味で言うと、すごく信頼をしてくれていて、ネットニュースから何かこういうゲームを作ってくれとかっていう注文とか、彼らから何か強制されるっていうことは一切なくて、本当に皆さんの作りたいゲーム、須田さんの作りたいゲームを作ってくれというふうに、まあ、本当に手放しで今自由に作らせてもらっているという、はい、環境下ですね。
Well, first off, one of the things that one of the biggest changes that they've experienced so far is now we're finally able to create our own original IPs, and pretty much freely as well, because we've got the backup of Netease now, so it's a lot easier to kind of run with things, you know. Also, Netease, they've got a lot of respect for Japanese games and for the Japanese market, and for possibly the first time, we finally got like real creative freedom now. They don't step in and say, okay, we want you to make this kind of game, or hey, we don't want you to do this with this game. They basically told us, okay, you know, we like your games, we like what you guys are doing. You make the games that you want to make. You make the games that you think you should make, and we're just going to leave you alone, basically. Like they don't get involved in the stuff. They don't come and like censor things or anything. They've been really great with us so far. They've been really great to us so far. So yeah, basically the freedom to make the kind of games we want, the way we want to make them, with like the backing of a big company like that, has been really kind of liberating, and it's really kind of opened up the possibilities for what kind of games we can make and how we can make them.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. I'm really excited now. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do now that, like, you know, like you've kicked it into high gear. So.
I had no idea that saving a game via flushing a toilet was him holding back.
まずはそれ最高ですね。これから、じゃあどんなゲームを生み出すのか、すごく、楽しみにしてます。で、
ありがとうございます。はい、
もう一つ先ほどやっとそのクリエイティブフリーダムがやっと慣れたっていうようなことをおっしゃってたんですけど、っていうことはトイレでセーブっていうのは、須田さんがそれでもちょっと控えめにしてたっていうことですかね。じゃあちょっと抑えてトイレでセーブっていうことかなって。
まあもちろんこれまでも自由な環境でゲームを作れることはもちろんあったんですけど、ノーマンヒルズは、3もね、本当自由に作ってたんですけども、いろんな意味ですごく大きなバックアップがあるというのが今回の一番の違いですかね。例えば独立系の僕らディベロッパーの場合だと、ゲームを作っている最中に次のゲームは決めなきゃいけないんですよね。契約をしなければいけなくて。ということはマスターアップ近辺って、調整もしながら、実は次の、プロジェクトの契約みたいなことをしなければいけなくて、いわゆる営業したりとか企画書を作って、いろんなパブリッシャーと交渉して、で次のタイトルが決まるように まあ、するという、そういう流れ、まあ、もちろん、プロジェクト終わってからそれを動くことももちろんできるんですけども、やはり独立系の場合って、間空かないように仕事がちゃんと続くようにやらなければいけないので、どうしても常にこう、なんていうのかな、息継ぎができない状態が続くんですよね。ずっと何かがずっと続いていく、切れ目なく続いていくっていう、今はそうではなくて、一本一本丁寧にゆっくり、深呼吸をしながら作れるっていう、そこの大きな違いはありますね。なので、僕が社長業として、いろいろ営業したりとか、あとはキャッシュフローを見て、資金計画を見ながら、大丈夫かどうかみたいなこととか、そういう、そっちの経営面でのストレスっていうのは、本当に全くなくなったというのが今の現状だと思います。
Well, I mean, before, it's not like he was completely tied down and didn't have any kind of creative freedom, you know. But I mean, for example, the No More Heroes series in general, and No More Heroes 3 in particular, it was clearly, you know, he was pretty much allowed to do almost whatever he wanted to do. But now, with such a huge backer as like Netease, he feels that again, it's finally they finally got the freedom to really do whatever they want, not just content wise, as in okay, we can kind of, you know, do something like extra kind of raunchy or whatever, but also just the way the company works and the way he's able to work and the way the employees are able to work. For example, when you know, before they were with Netease, and a lot of companies, especially indie developers and indie companies, probably have to deal with the same thing. But before they joined the Netease group, they basically have to constantly be keeping everything in motion. You know, like they're working on one game, and right around the time when they get the master up, that's right around the time when they have to start really kind of putting stuff for the next game into high gear, like, you know, going around to different possible investors and stuff, you know, writing up and signing contracts, trying to figure out how they're going to get the money for it, how they're going to get the team together and everything. And you have to basically constantly be in the cycle of making a game, and that sort of overlaps, the back end of that overlaps with the front end of like getting the next game started. And you don't really have any time to breathe, you know, you don't really have space to just kind of breathe and like chill for a little bit. But now with the backing of Netease, basically we've got the leeway and the I guess you could say the comfort to be able to just kind of focus on one game at a time, and, you know, do everything exactly the way we want to do it and get everything exactly the way we want it to be. And he says for him in particular, he's been pretty much completely freed from the stress from most of the stress of being a CEO that you have to deal with before. Again, you know, you're trying to finish the master version of like a game that's going to be coming out pretty soon, but at the same time, you've got to go to like several different places and talk to investors and stuff and look at these different contracts and try to figure out where you're going to get money to get this part done and how you're going to be able to pay the rent this month and everything. All that stress and worry is just gone now. So he's got a lot more freedom, again, not only content wise, but a lot more sort of personal freedom as well, and a lot more, I guess you could say, mental freedom.
Yeah, it sounds like mind space is freed up.
Can kind of focus more on the creative aspects.
Exactly, yeah. So that's been probably the biggest difference so far between the pre-Netease group and post-Netease group periods, I guess, is that sort of just general freedom. Finally.
That's exciting. It's exciting to hear.
Well, sounds like major pluses. All good news.
やっぱりメリットばっかりみたいで本当に良かったですね。そう聞けて嬉しいです。
はい。本当にネットユーザー素晴らしいです。まあ別におべっかで言うんじゃなくて、はい。彼らのマインドは本当素晴らしいなと思っています。
But yeah, honestly, not just trying to, you know, kiss up or anything, but Netease, they really are a great company. This is the mind that they've got for games and their creators is just really great.
When you're feeling blocked creatively or like you need a break, what sort of activities do you do? And do you have any hobbies or anything like that?
どうしてもアイディアが出ないときとか、とにかくちょっと休憩したいときとかって、どんなアクティビティをされるんですか？また何か趣味とかホビーとかってありますでしょうか？
僕が一番そういうときにそうですね、選ぶのは温泉に行くっていうのが、はい、僕にとってはこう、なんていうんですかね、一回リセットするような場所になってますかね。よく行く とかもあるんですけれども、はい。新しいところ探したりとかして、とにかく温泉に入るっていう、これが本当にオフモードにする、はい、時間になります。途中ドライブの時間も好きなんですよね。運転するのも好きなので、高速道路、ハイウェイを法定速度でちゃんと突っ走る、ぶっ飛ばすっていうね、はい、この時間もすごく大好きで、その時間にまた好きな音楽を聴きながら、目的地の旅館まで行く、温泉まで行くっていう、はい、これは全て好きですね、このサイクルみたいなものが。
He'd say probably going to hot springs. There are a few that he goes to somewhat regularly, but he also likes just kind of going out and trying to find new ones to check out as well. But that's what he likes to do when he just really kind of needs a break, or he just really kind of needs to unwind and like unplug for a while. You just go get in a hot spring and just sort of chill for a bit. Also, not just the hot spring itself, but the whole like process of like getting there as well. I said, getting in the car, getting on the freeway, and just kind of punching it. Listen to his favorite music and stuff on the way. Just kind of driving along the freeway, just seeing the sights and stuff while he's driving around, trying to find a new hot spring or something like that. And then also, of course, actually finally getting there and getting in the water and just really being able to finally relax and kind of turn yourself off. That's probably his number one go-to activity for when he wants to sort of unwind and get rid of that writer's block.
Nice. Sounds excellent.
日本のハイウェイには、海外は多分あんまないと思うんですけど、途中にサービスエリアっていうものがあるんですよね。サービスエリアっていうのが高速降りずに入れて、そこで休憩できるんですけども、これが
あります
どこ行ってもそう美味しいものが食べれるんですよ。その土地土地の場所場所の美味しいものが食べられて、これがまた楽しいんですよね。たまにソフトクリーム食べたりとか、はい、ご当地のラーメンだったりとか、本当にね、美味しいもの尽くしみたいなのがあるので、ついつい寄っちゃうんですよ。休憩ばっかりしてね、そのぐらいサービスへ寄るのも楽しいです。すごく。
Another thing that he likes to do, and this sort of ties into the driving out to a hot spring thing, is in Japan along the freeways they have service areas like all over the country, and the service areas along the freeway in Japan are really awesome because you can without like properly getting off the freeway and getting down into like smaller, more suburban streets, whatever, you can just kind of get right off the freeway onto the into the service area and park there for a bit. And a lot of the service areas in Japan actually have really good food. Like they usually focus on like local local foods, like local exports and stuff like that. For example, like all over Japan, you can stop in a service area and get like that town or that prefecture's like specialty ramen and all kinds of different like souvenirs and stuff like that. But pretty much any service area you stop by in Japan, they're gonna have a couple things that are just like really good food wise. So sometimes he ends up just sort of stopping at like multiple service areas, just eating all kinds of stuff, taking hours and hours to get where he's going just because the service areas here are so awesome.
That's right. That's right. So you've been developing games for about 30 years now. Where do you think video games will be in another 30 years?
須田さんはもう30年くらいゲームを作ってるかと思いますが、今から30年後にはゲームっていうものはどう変化していると思いますか
？10年後。いや僕はずっと言い続けてるんですけども、デビッド・クローネンバーグの映画の「イグジスデンス」に登場するゲームのデバイスがあるんですけど、多分それになるんじゃないかなと思いますね。多分何かしらのジャックインする寄生虫みたいなものがあって、で寄生虫を多分背中に埋め込んで、寄生虫が体の中に入って、そのゲーム機として、脳をジャックして、で一応おへそからつながったのかな、あれ。ソフトがあるんですよ。それで新しいソフトをバーンとインストールすると、新しいニューゲームが遊べるみたいな。多分その寄生虫がまたこの新しいゲームをダウンロードしてみたいな、この寄生虫が入るポットと、でその寄生虫を自分の中に体内に入れるっていう、おそらく、30年後はそういうゲームになるんじゃないかな。多分 プレイステーション12ぐらいですかね。そんなにいかないか。プレイステーション10ぐらいかな。そうなると思います。
He says he's been talking about this for a while now, but he's pretty sure that in about 30 years from now, video games are probably going to be something similar to what
5年主義。
そうですね。what you see in the David Cronenberg movie Existence, where he says he feels it's going to be some kind of really weird, creepy thing where, for example, you've got like this sort of like parasite thing that you would like stick like into the back of your dome or in the back of your neck here to connect up in your
brain computer interface, right?
Bioorganic.
Yeah. And you'd have like a this kind of parasite or bug thing that you would stick like, for example, into your stomach or something to like upload like new games and software, and it would sort of jack directly into your brain and you just kind of like tweak out and play the game. He says he's pretty sure that in about 30 years, that's probably what video games are going to look like or something similar. Probably around the time of, he just did some really quick back of the envelope math, but around PlayStation 10 or 11. That's probably what video games are going to look like by then.
That's PSVR 8?
Yeah. いや、確かに。
PSVR 8らへんじゃないかな。
誰かもしれない。
Well, Suda, that's just about it. But we've chatted a few times now. I'm curious. Would you say we're friends now?
ご質問はもうほぼ以上なんですけど、ちょっと一つ聞きたかったんですけど、今まで何回かこうやってお会いしてお話ししたりとかしてるんですけど、もう僕らって友達って言っちゃってもいいんですかね？
もちろんシャックニュースのみんなは友達ですよ。もちろん。
Of course, everybody at Shacknews is my buddy.
そう、いつも応援してくれてるし。Of course, yeah.
Yeah, you guys always take time to meet with them and talk with them and stuff. So yeah, of course, totally.
Thank you. Are we maybe best friends?
じゃあそれでベストフレンドでよくないですか？
Okay.
Does this mean that we can be holograms in your next video game then? Now that we're best friends?
じゃあこれでもうみんなベストフレンドになったわけで、須田さんの自作にはみんなホログラムとして出演させてもらっていいですか？
後ろにふわーってこうやってね。OK。その時はちょっと連絡するから。メールするね。
Let's maybe kind of have you guys floating around in the back going like, "Whoa, hey you guys," If that's cool, then when they get to that point in production, he'll mail you guys.
All right, sounds good. We're down for anything.
Hopefully we can come to the studio and visit.
Yeah.
もしくはアンリアルでインヒューマン化して2人には登場してもらうかもしれない。
Or use an Unreal Engine. They could change you guys into like Inhumans and have you be in the game.
メタヒューマンだ。
Metahuman. Yeah. Have you guys change into metahumans and put you in the game that way too?
All right, we're open. We're down. We're there. Whatever you need from us, we'll let you know. I'll write a song just for your next game, just for you, Suda.
もう何でも大歓迎ですよ。よかったら次のゲームのために須田さんだけのために作曲作詞もやっといて歌も作りますよって。
Wow, really?
Oh yeah, something. You want something nice, punk rock, or whatever you need. Easy listening, Kenny G. Whatever you want.
なんかパンク的なもんとかロック的なもんとか逆になんかサックス重視のちょっとなんかおばちゃんとか好きそうな音楽とかでも何でも作りますよ言ってくれたら。
わお、本当にちょっとマジでそういうコラボしましょうよ。
Okay, in that case for real then let's do some kind of collaboration with that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
All
例えば
right.
ね、街の中にある小さなラジオステーションがあって、それはシャックラジオっていうね、ラジオステーションがあるんですよ。そこのパーソナリティが2人で、そこでいろんな音楽をかけるとかっていうのはすごく面白いんじゃないか。
It might be pretty awesome to have something like in the next game. Say there's like a small town radio station in town called like Shack Radio, And then when you tune into that radio, you can have like you guys on the radio as like personalities and stuff, like playing music and shit like that. Like, that's something you'd be down with. That might be kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I think that's
yeah, we've missed this. You know, we used to get to hang out with you a lot, you know, either at GDC or at PAX. You would come to America. Obviously, with COVID, it's made things a lot harder to do these things, but I'm glad we got to catch up and chat even remotely. I hope we can do this again and more often, because we really did miss interacting with you. It's you know, we've had a great time at E3, at GDC, at PAX, and yeah, we're really happy that you joined us for E6.
いやこういうのが最近全然できてなくて寂しいですよねって。今までは、例えば E3 だったり GDC だったり PAX だったり、直接お会いしてこのちょっとふざけた話をしたりとか、まあ、盛り上がったりとかしてたんですけど、まあ、最近コロナでそれが全くできなくなってて、やっぱり久しぶりにこうやって須田さんと直接お話しして、まあ、またふざけた話したり盛り上がったりとかしてて、やっぱりこれが恋しかったなっていう実感がすごく来てますねって。
そう、本当にまたね、直接会いたいよね。そう、だから来年ほら E3 やるってまた発表があったじゃないですか。この E6 はどうなの ?E7? やるのかな
so yeah, he's really looking forward to meeting up with you guys directly, hopefully in the near future again as well. But he says also, so next year, so they announced that they're going to be doing E3 again. So what are you guys going to do for E6 next year? Is it going to be like E7 or?
Yeah. Yes. Last year was E5 and it was E4 the year before.
Yeah, we did E4, E5, E6, and E7.
Yeah.
We have to. The tricky part, Suda-san, is you have to keep coming up with another word that starts with E. That makes sense.
Yeah.
いや確かに去年は E5 でしたし、その一昨年は E4 でしたし、だから来年はその通りE7 になるE7 になるんですけど、毎回その E で始まる単語を、思いつくのが結構だるいですよねって。
So E6
僕は E がバババってる。確かに。
E6 is extremely excellent electronic entertainment explosive experience. So,
素晴らしい。
それが E6 なので、そのまたさらにその E 単語を足すのって結構めんどくさいな。
And I point out, E6 is twice as many E's as E3, so clearly we're already ahead of them.
何回も言ってるんですけど、E3 より E6 の方がE って2倍じゃないですか。だからどう見ても俺の勝ちだろみたいな。
確かに。Great.
Awesome.
Well, Suda, unless you have any questions for us, I think that we are done.
特に須田さんの方からなんかご質問が特になければ、もうこれで、終わり。
大丈夫です。はい。
He says he's fine.
All right. Well, very good. Thank you once again so much. We really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat with us. We know that you're very busy and you're just moving into your new offices. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for taking the time, and we look forward to chatting more with you again in the future.
When that game is ready to be announced,
yeah,
come talk to us.
いや最近は新しいスタジオに引っ越してきたばっかりですし、いやもう確かにすごいバタバタされてるんでしょうねって思ってるんですけど、それでもこうやって時間を作ってお話ししていただいて本当にありがとうございました。もういつもすごい楽しいですし、で今回も本当に心の底からありがとうって言いたいですっていうことです。また、その実績が、ちょっと形になってきたら、やっぱ俺ら出してくれるんだったら、ちゃんと連絡してねっていうことです。
もちろん。はい。そう、ぜひ今度はね、直接会いましょう。で、今日もすみません、ありがとうございます。E6 に呼んでもらって。Thank you so much.
Yeah, as soon as possible, let's definitely get together in real life, meet directly and screw around a bit some more then. And again, thanks so much for having him at E6 today. He had a great time and really appreciates it. So thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, stick around. We got more E6 coming up right now.